Hey, it's James from Finney Electrical, and on today's video we're doing some kitchen electrics on this house. Time for the shout outs this week. So we've got a shout out for Richard Royal, so cheers for commenting on the videos, appreciate that, spot on. Right, let's get into this. Hello Desi, so this is the house we're working at, so let's get into this job then. Right then, so this is the kitchen. So it's all piled up in the middle, that's going to get fitted. Just going to work around this today. So we've got a few sockets going in around here. We've got an appliance to power up, I think it's a dishwasher. Got some down lights to pop in here. A little centre pendant light to pop in. On the cabinet lights over this side where there's going to be cabinets. And then an Aga, so a cable to bring down for an Aga. So we'll just jump onto the plans just so you can see what it's going to look like. And there's him. Right then, so this is the kitchen that's going in. So this is like the artist impression that we get sent through. So as you can see, we've got a few down lights along here. We've got, these are the cabinets for the under cabinet lights in. Over here we've got the dishwasher, and then we've got a few sockets in to the right over here. We've got a socket there, what else we got? And then we've got a socket over here. You can see the Aga there, and a socket over there. So not too bad. There's an extractor going in there that we've got to fit 2 lights in, and then 2 lights either side of that cupboard. Right, so first thing we're going to do is mark out for the sockets. So what we're going to do is go 1200 to the top, then we're going to get a laser level. It's going to ping a laser line around the room, and it's just going to make sure that all these sockets are going to be perfect level after it's all been fitted and passed. Right, that's all these marked out then. So we've got laser level set up. So obviously that's to the top of the socket. So what we got? So we've got a socket in here. We'll have to disconnect these and then obviously mark out for that. There's a socket going in there, and there's a socket going here, so the customer wants an extra socket here. This side, socket in for there, socket in for down there, so we'll get that chased down now. Right, so Hayden's been chasing those out, so he's done a few already. So he's chopped out for this here, he's also chopping out for the switch. He's chopped that out, and he's just started to do a chase down there, so the cable's going to come up the wall. So he's doing that. So whilst he was doing that, I've done a bit of the lighting, so we'll explain what's going on with the light. So we've had to walk around with the customer, and she's gone for 4 spotlights. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. So all we've done is just come off 700 and then gone middle of the beam. So it's about 200 to the centre. So what we'll have to do is get a cable from here down to the switch. So we'll wire from here up to here, through to there, and through to there, and then all that'll be wired. So next we've got the centre light. So she wants it brought into the middle between these two. So this beam's the centre of the room, but she don't want it to hang off there, she wants it to hang off here, so it'll be slightly off centre, but it'll basically land here, the pendant. So that's that. What else we got? And then we've got the under cabinet lights. So there's under cabinet lights going on here, as you saw by the drawing earlier. So what we'll have to do is bring out a cable so it pops out above the cabinet, so about here, so it's on about 215 to the top. We'll have to bring a cable out here for the undercabs again for the canopy, and again for the end, we'll leave it on top for that end cupboard there. Right, time for a bit of munch. We'll try out this butty shop. Hey, check this out. So I did like chicken and stuff in it, like a little farm shop. Look at that, it's a beast of a sandwich. Oh yeah. Oh, that was gorgeous sandwich, that. Beautiful. Hey, what do you get here then? Sausage. Little sausage sandwich, looking great. Oh, I definitely did it on a day like today. Right then, let's get back into this. So we're back now, so just going to wire up the lighting. So things have changed a little bit just because we can't get cables behind here. So basically these joists here run all the way up to the ceiling. So we're not going to be able to drill through and get it behind here. So what we're going to do is reuse these cables that come down to here already and extend down to the switch. So we've already got a permanent alignment switch for the centre light. So all we're going to do is extend that cable to here. So that will do the centre light. And then what we'll have to do is have another 2 switch wires. So this cable here we can bring down into the switch. And what one of the cores will do, so that cable's up there by the way, so what we'll do is send one of the switch wires out, which will connect onto the undercabs, so that'll do those, and then we'll send another switch wire out which is going to do the spotlights, and then that'll be all them sorted. Right, so we've got the spotlights wired. So what we've done is basically wire from here all the way around to there, there to there, there to there, and then here. we've just brought that to like a central point where we can do the connections. So there, we've got a cable level up downlights. And then we'll wire from this point here to the undercab, so there's gonna be a connection on top of the cabinet, so that's why it's kind of hung out there. It goes from there, down, along and up out here. So there might be 2 lights in the canopy, so we've wired for that. So they're long enough to go to there, then from here it goes back down, along, up, and that's gonna land on top of that cupboard for over there. So that's the under cabinet lights wired. We've got that to the centre then, so we've just pulled it off there and then fed it through, and then just got the light back up just so we can see. We've also got here, we're basically just going to label that up neutral only, so that we're going to take a neutral off here which runs to this connection here. So basically whenever we do a connection here, we can provide a neutral for the cables going out to the undercabs and the spotlights. So that's what another cable up there is for. So yeah, it's a bit complicated, but like we said before, we're going to use one of these cables as the switch wire. So what we've done now is just basically connected through. Let's have a look. So this cable here did the water heater, so them 2 kind of came down the wall into here. So what we've done is just chopped it and then capped this on the merry way. So we just taped it up for now, but we'll have to get a box on that. So that's that one. The 2 cables that came down the wall, one of them we've just labelled up the switch side of the water heater switch. So basically this cable here, which is the switch side of the water heater, we'll use them 2 as switch wires. So in your switch, basically you will have the permanent come in, and then it'll link out to the live side of the switch. On the outgoing sides, that'll go out to up top, that'll go out as a switch wire, and that'll go out as a switch wire. So you flip the switch, and that'll be connected onto the cable that goes to the undercabs. The other core will do the spotlights, and then the existing one that goes to the centre light will still do the centre light. So it's a bit confusing if you haven't done lighting before, but that's what we're going to do. Right then, so we've got that on. So we've extended those cables down to here. So that was your existing cable that you saw. So when you flick that switch, this will go out to your centre light like it did before. So obviously we've taken that permanent feed and powered up the other side of the switches. And then these, using this cable, which went to the top, now it attaches onto the downlights. So that's your downlight. So that's connected onto the neutrals, and that's that switch wire coming out the switch. And then you've got the under cabinet lights, which is this one, and that's connected onto that other one. So as you can see, we've got 3 switch wires coming out, so 1, 2, and that third one goes out to the light anyway. So that's all set up nicely. So what we're going to do is get a box on that, show it up, and then that'll be this done. Right then, so just going to show you how we're going to wire up the sockets next. So Haydan's just got the sockets mounted, so just got to level them off shortly. So shut that door. He's got to get a socket, you've got to get a back box in there and get that wired. So you saw these bits before, didn't you? So how we're going to wire it, we brought in a ring ages ago and just left it there. So what we're going to have to do is extend these, put boxes on. So one of those will come down the wall, it'll pick up this socket, it'll pick up a socket in the back of here, pick up that socket, and then it'll come back. It won't connect back into that, it'll carry on through the ceiling, down this channel, pick up that socket, it'll pick up a socket in the back of here, pick up this socket, that socket, and then come all the way back around and then connect into the other end of the ring. Because them 2 go back to the fuse board, you see. So a ring is basically where you wire from the fuse board all the way around to every socket and back. So that's what we're doing here. So we've got a bit of a mess to try and work with here. So there's 2 cables coming down. What we'll do is probably bring them into this socket actually, and there's 2 cables going through the wall which does the extension whenever that happened. So what we'll have to do is bring these cables into his new sockets and extend the ring basically. So you'll have one of these cables attaching onto here, and the other cable will come into the socket, and the other cable coming through the wall will come into the socket. So you kind of extend this ring back again. So before there was like 2 1mm which came through the wall. Obviously they've chased along and brought into this socket. So obviously you can't do that. So that's a bit naughty really. So what we've done is chop that off yesterday. We've been here 2 days now. So what we've done is just refed that. So there's these cables to bring into that ring as well. So obviously there's quite a bit of a jiggery pokery we've got to do there. So what we'll have to do is probably put a box in underneath, landing in this zone, and basically extend the ring twice. So it's going to be a bit of fun. Yeah, a bit of DIY Dave. You know what I mean? It's not right good, is it? We've also, whilst we're on it, there's this plug top here which goes through the wall, and that powers up a random socket underneath here. So what we'll have to do is rewire that as well. So good fun trying to sort other people's work out that they've just had to go themselves. So I don't know. Right then, so all the cables are in for the sockets now. So if you have a look, those boxes are in, it's all being laser leveled nicely. And we've got the two fibres called up in the back. So we've got that one there. We'll explain what's going on there. Bit of a mess. Got one there, so again, that's curled up ready. I think Haydan just put that one in. You got them there to get curled up in back. So Plaster's just decided to bond a few bits already. What else we got? Socket here and socket over there. So then, for the appliances, we've got a socket that's going to come out the back of this cupboard, and Haydan wired this up. So he got a little confused. So there's supposed to be just a socket down here for the appliance, which is wired for. This was going to be all off the existing sockets, but it's ended up wiring for it. So all we'll do is just cut them two joints off, and when we're wiring the new circuit, it should all be fine. So coming on to this mess, so because the utility was wired so badly, what we've had to do is basically wire this as part of the ring, because it was wired on a plug top, which was a bit dodgy. So all we've done is just rewired that as part of the ring, just so we can extend if we need to, when it comes to actually doing this bit of the extension. So just trying to explain what's going in. So obviously there were two cables coming into a socket. All we've done is brought one of them into the socket, and then the other one we've brought into a box which extends next door to the socket above. From there it comes back into this box, which then extends to the socket below through, and then it comes right around and then back to here. So we've basically got two extensions of the ring, because those two cables that went through actually do the existing ring for this place. So there was a couple of sockets down here. I did the spur for the lighting, stuff like that. So it's been a bit of a nightmare trying to fix all this. Hopefully that makes sense. But yeah, it's been a bit of a nightmare. So we've had to just leave these cables in this socket zone. It's been a bit tight, but once the plasterer gets a bit of gob over that, these cables will be in zone and it'll be okay. Yeah, that's us done down here. So as you saw, we've extended the sockets for a new ring for the kitchen. So we've extended to all the points and back. We've wired in for the lighting. So because we couldn't chase down the wall, we've had to reuse cables and land them in the light zone, the lights cable zone where you can run the cables, just to get the switch wires for the circuits we want to turn on. A bit confusing, but once you get to know lighting, it becomes a bit easier. So those switches do the under cabinet lights. So there's under cabinet lights to the left, the right, and there's two in the light, the little extractor kind of boxing section. You'll see what I mean in the second video. We've also wired in for we've moved the pendant light into the centre, and we've wired up for 4 spots. So that's all the lighting sorted out. So that's all there is for this video. So if you like this kind of content, hit the like button, hit subscribe, hit the little bell notification so you know when we next upload. As always, have a good one from me, and I'll see you on the next one.